So, ma'am, I want to understand who is a giver and who is a receiver.
Okay, so the difference between giver and receiver is actually almost not there. What happens is the giver has already become the receiver, and that is where the giving starts.
Okay.
And it's like a continuous cycle. It's a loop. So, for example, I want to give somebody something. I have to have received it first. A person who hasn't received cannot become the giver. And when one, for example, I have already received something and I want to share it by giving. In that moment, you as a person are the receiver. The moment you receive, the giving will happen. So, the idea of giving usually is always understood with the giving of charity, giving of donation, giving of good advice. But to truly understand this, let me explain this to you in a way. So, for example, I have given you instructions to do something and you did not execute them. So, I'll say, I had informed you XYZ thing to be done and you haven't done it. And whether you like it or not, in that moment you have received that from me. And then the moment you receive, you will give a response, whether verbally or internally, but the giving will happen naturally and automatic. So, the moment you receive, you become a giver. So there is actually no difference between a giver and a receiver. It's just an exchange. Always the receiver becomes the giver and the giver becomes the receiver. Issues happen when you stop the flow of this giving and receiving and stop completing the entire cycle. And the other thing is, when people say they are giving somebody something, they are under the illusion that the giver is at a higher level and the receiver is at a lower level. There are no levels. The giver and the receiver are always on the same level. It's a simple, equal exchange. Whatever we give, we receive it back in multiples. We never receive it in less than what we have given. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.